Hello, good evening. Okay, so let's start. So welcome to yet another session. Every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. IST. Good evening, Asha Kiran. Good evening, Masya. So let's slowly start. Aniruddhan, good evening. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is something, today's topic is, what a balanced diet in Ayurveda. This is something which is very, it's a very, not a very easy subject to handle, topic to handle. It's a wide thing, and balanced diet in Ayurveda is not only about the food you eat, it's also about how you eat, and what all things you have to follow to eat food. There are a lot of small things which are very interesting. The way Ashtanga Hridaya has explained it, it's very interesting. So let me see to what extent I can explain all those things. But I'll go through the basics as to what Ayurveda has mentioned about eating food, and the reason why we basically eat food is something which we have to look into, right? So let's start today's thing. Yeah, Savior Rama. Okay, all the best. BMS course, yes, good. You're in the right place at the right time, the right course. Only thing is that you have to really focus and study really well. Okay, all the best, all the best. So let's start. Okay, so food in Sanskrit it is ahara, and ahara is one among the three sub pillars of life. We call that trayo upastambha. Stambha means pillar, upastambha is the sub pillars, and one of that is food. When you look at every organism, or sorry, every animal around you, we also belong to the animal kingdom, right? So what do they need? Indian government says, food, clothing, and shelter are the three basic necessities of life. But no, Ayurveda or all Indian philosophies, they don't say that. The three necessities of a person's life, it can be an animal or a human being, is food, availability of food, availability of good sleep, and availability of to mate. If these three things have been fulfilled, by and large, everybody is physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy. This is what Ayurveda also follows. So, of that, the most important thing is, okay, this says ahara, nidra, brahmacharya. That means your sexual habits, they also have to be very good, disciplined. Okay, so when you look at treatment, in treatment, what we basically look into is in 3 steps. Treatment is also done in 3 steps. First, what we look into is the food what the person is consuming, what changes you have to make for that person to become healthy. So treatment also happens in 3 levels: ahara, vihara, and aushadha. Aushadha is treatment. Okay, so ahara is food, vihara is a lifestyle. What time do you get up in the morning? Okay, what kind of water you take a shower in? Okay, do you apply oil on your body every day, abhyanga, or do you exercise every day? So all those, what time do you go to bed? How many hours do you sleep? All those things come under vihara. So if your ahara and your vihara are healthy, the third thing, that is aushadha or treatment, might not be necessary at all. So extreme importance has been given to food, because you are basically what you eat, is what people say. But according to Ayurveda, you are basically what you digest. It's no point eating a lot of food if you're not able to digest that. Okay, so let's continue. Result of good ahara. When you take good ahara, what will happen? Ahara properly and in good ways. Okay, deha pushti. The body actually gets a lot of nourishment. Dhatu pushti. Each and every part of the body, specifically, dhatus. You have got sapta dhatu, seven dhatus. All those also will get nourishment. Tushti. Tushti is basically you eat good food which you like, you become happy. Okay, you become very very happy mentally. Then kaya bala, your body becomes extremely strong. It's not only nourishment here, your body also becomes strong. Chirayu, you get long life because you are consuming food. Food also includes water. Okay, so you should understand that even the water has been told jivaniya, so you have to take everything. Okay, then agni deepti, good digestion. So food decides the amount of food, what kind of food you eat actually decides how your digestion is. Okay, if you take wrong food at wrong times, there are three conditions. Okay, one is samashana, one is adhyashana, and one is vishamashana. These three reasons, I did a video yesterday. Out of that, samashana is also one thing which is very important. Samashana is that when you are actually sick, or for your nature, you have been asked to take some kind of food, something is pathya for you. So if you mix pathya food and something which is not good for you, apathya food together, that will actually lead to a lot of problems. That is basically called samashana. Okay, and adhyashana is you consume food even before your previously digested food is digested. That is also bad. Vishamashana is having food at wrong timings, maybe middle of the night or whatever, wrong timings, akale, wrong timing you're having food is actually, that is the main reason for a lot of diseases. Okay, so these things. Okay, then how do you say a food is balanced? Okay, we can basically classify that into three: as the quantity of food you eat, the quality of food you eat, and the process in which you eat. Okay, process is something which is actually explained very much in detail in Ashtanga Dev. So it's a nice shloka to go. Probably, if time permits, I can do a shloka sometime and we can have a discussion on that. So the quantity of food you eat, so always said that you have to eat only half your stomach. Half your stomach basically doesn't mean that the size of your stomach, depending upon your digestion. So you only fill your stomach half with food. It's like, you would have seen probably cooking, open cooking, when you have got a vessel. If you have to cook rice, if you fill the vessel completely with rice, you see that it's not getting digested properly. So what you do is the vessel is only half rice, then the remaining half of that is water, and a quarter of that is water, and the quarter of that is left for space for that rice to actually cook and swell. Same thing is a process which happens in the body also. The quantity of food you eat only should be half your stomach. Okay, then the quality of food you eat, it should be inclusive of all the tastes, all the shadrasa. Madhuramala, Tikta, Akshara, Kashaya are the 6 stages. If your food is consisting of all the 6 stages, it's supposed to be balanced. Okay, and it should be predominantly snigdha. You can't. It is not good to have dry, stale. Okay, food. Shushka ahara, shushka ruksha ahara should be avoided. Food should be consumed warm. Very hot food also should not be consumed. Okay, extremely salty food also should not be. Extremely spicy food should not be. So extreme should be avoided. Food should be warm and fresh. In the sense, reheated food, according to Ashtanga Hridaya, reheated food is not good. So cook fresh, eat fresh. Okay, then the process. Okay, eat peacefully. So when you're eating, Ashtanga says don't go and eat food alone, hiding from people and eating alone. No, eat food with people whom you are happy to be with. Okay, like-minded people, people who love you, you love. Okay, So it could be family or friends. Eat, and then you know what? Aninda is one word. That means don't hate the food which you are eating. You should like the food. Okay. Tanmana, applying your mind into eating. And then what? Shutting up, not talk. Abruya, not even talking. So silently, peacefully eat food. Okay. Eat slowly. Na ati drudam, na ati vilambitam. That means not very fast or not very slow. That means, and when you say slowly, it doesn't mean extremely slowly. Eat in a moderate pace, and you have to actually chew really well. Your digestion depends upon how many times you actually chew. Okay, and eat only when hungry. Kshudhaha. Don't eat when you're not hungry at all. Okay, if it is time for food and you're not hungry, try to understand, why am I not feeling hungry? What did I do wrong? Okay, try to understand and try to rectify that. Okay, so people have started asking questions. Yes, we'll come to this. We'll slowly come to the end of the slide. Okay, so others, what other things? Eat seasonal foods. Don't go for exotic things which are coming from other parts of the world. Eat seasonal fruit. Okay, eat traditional food. We say pathyam and hitam. Pathyam is basically in the situation in which you are right now. What suits, what is actually good for you is what you have to eat. Hitam is what suits you. In the sense, suppose for example, I am from Kerala. Okay, for me, cooking oil is basically coconut oil, and coconut oil suits me because I have been satmi or something. I have been having coconut oil since birth. My parents had coconut oil. My great grandparents had. All of us have had coconut oil. So that is also satmia to me. That is genetically close to me. So that is better for me rather than me probably think when somebody says no, olive oil is better. I don't think I have to shift to olive oil to stay healthy. I stick to coconut oil. That should be the best thing. Okay. Eat traditional. That's what I mean. Eat traditional. Okay. Never eat immediately after exercise. After you exercise, never eat immediately. Okay. Never shower immediately after food. It's the other way around. Snataha. Eat your food after showering. Okay. After washing your hands, legs, and face, sit to eat food cooked by people who actually love you and adore you. So you understood, right? If a food comes from the restaurant, you know what kind of vibrations that food actually brings. Okay, things have changed, but still I'm telling you, if the food is cooked with a lot of love, it will actually give you a lot of energy. Okay, so slowly let us start getting into the questions. Okay, so Bhanu Pratap, I have a doubt, sir. Okay, let me post that question there. That doing abhyangam from sesame oil and mustard oil increases toxins in blood, then what should one do? On the other hand, it is said that we should do abhyang daily. I have not come across this thing saying, that everybody says that abhyanga with sesame oil will increase toxins in the body. No. Okay. First thing, see that you get pure sesame oil. Okay. And if you are doing abhyanga with sesame oil, abhyangam acharit nityam, do it every day. It will not increase the toxins in your body. Sa jara abhyangamajaret nityam sa jara ashrama vatha. It delays your aging. Okay, it actually decreases your tiredness and it also controls vata. Okay, so you have to do abhyangam every day. Mustard oil, yes, if probably you are used to mustard oil and if the weather is very cold, yes, you can do with mustard oil also, but mustard oil actually increases the heat of the body. Sesame oil is not good and it is the best oil for massage. Samriddhi, give please some practical tips on how to remove tamas from mind and body. Okay, so let us talk from the body first. Okay, when, as I said, Ashtanga has laid down rules of how to eat also. So it very clearly says, when it talks about the physical aspects, it also says about shoka, krodha, kshudha, adivihi. So if you are shoka need not be only grief, it can also be depression. Next level is depression. Don't eat when you're depressed. You see a lot of people have eat when they are depressed. Okay, it's again the mind. Okay, so and krodha when you are extremely angry, it increases the pitta. So your mental state is also very important as far as food goes. Krudaha, when you're extremely hungry, don't overeat. Understand that you're extremely hungry. Eat, as we said, only eat half your stomach. Even then, eat only half your stomach. Otherwise, it will lead to indigestion. Okay. So tamas from the body is basically taken care with the food you eat. So sattvic food, rajasic food, tamasic food. And sattva, rajas, and tamas are not bad for your kind information. Sattva, rajas, and tamas are the gunas of the mind. Okay, and but the doshas are rajas and tamas. Sattva never becomes a dosha, but tamas, rajas, and tamas can become doshas. So, for example, when see sattva is sattva, that means you are peaceful, your doshas are all balanced, and you're peaceful, you're contented. That is sattvic. And rajasic, when you are assertive, when you want something and you know what you want and assertive, that is rajas as a guna. It's a good quality. But when you become aggressive, from assertiveness, when you become aggressive, there rajas, which is a good quality, becomes a dosha, a bad quality. Hope you are able to understand that. Tamas, okay, tamas. See, patience, waiting for something is also is a quality, right? You are ready to wait for something. That is a positive sign of tamas. You are ready to wait. That is a good quality of tamas. But when you are lazy, the other extreme, when you're lazy and not doing anything, okay, that becomes a dosha. So practically speaking, so for manodosha, it is, manodosha counseling is the best thing to remove the tamas and rajas. Dhi dhairya atma di vijnana manodosha aushadham param. Dhi means telling him, trying to sit and telling him about imparting knowledge. Dhi, okay, dhairya, giving him confidence that yes, move on in life. A lot of things have happened. Shed everything, move on in life. Most reason why people become rajasic and tamasic is because of situations they have gone through. So dhairya, you have to give them confidence. And atmadi vichan, philosophical knowledge. This is the way you manage tamas, rajas, and tamas of the mind. But rajas and tamas of the mind can also come from rajas and tamas of the body. So if you indulge yourself in too much of tamasic and rajasic food and lifestyle, okay, you can actually get rajasic and tamasic. So avoiding these things are very important. Sleeping in the daytime will increase tamas. Okay, consuming alcohol, consuming too much of spicy food. Okay, all these things can actually increase your rajas. Alcohol, okay, drugs can actually increase your tamas. So I think most of the things So avoiding all these causative factors will actually take control your rajas and tamas. Samriti, I think I would have, to a certain extent, I would have covered. Okay. So say anything which takes a longer time to digest. Okay, guru ahara, too much of time will actually increase tamas. Okay, and things which actually digest pretty fast and don't create vidahi, don't create a lot of heat or doesn't make you too much of sleepy, by and large can be classified under sattvic. For cancer patients, yes, anything which is first thing you have to know that cancer is multiplying. Okay, for multiplying, see, cells multiply without control. So when you have that multiplication happening, what is happening there? Nourishment is too much. So when there is too much of nourishment, the chances of multiplying also is pretty quick. Okay, so first of all, what you have to see is that you have to cut down on sweetened foods. Okay, Marcia, sweetened foods are not good for most kinds of cancers because that will promote the growth of cancer cells. Okay, and anything which can increase the heat of the body. And if the person is undergoing chemo or radiation, it is basically extremely heat what do you call, generating treatment, because it's a war out there. Okay, so what you do is don't consume excess of sour, salty, and spicy foods also. Consume food which are easily digestible, so that the body can actually focus on taking care of the condition in which the person is. Okay, by and large, anything such as anything that can overnourish the body and something which takes a longer time to digest is not good for cancer patients. My ancestors had to live in a different place in India due to nature of work. Yeah, so this is something. This is something which is always confusing. Okay, Samriddhi. By moving to a different place itself, from where your great grandfathers were born, grandfather was born, father was born, and you move to a different place itself. Okay, in my opinion, you are one rung down as far as your natural health goes than the people who live there. Okay, now that you have moved there, I don't want you to do a lot of change in your food habits. Okay, so that your the desha, we call that, the land is changed. Now the only thing where your strength too much stays is the kind of food you consume. Okay, understand the place where you are according to seasons. Try to accommodate what foods you are genetically used to. That will keep you healthier than actually trying to eat food. Okay, seasoning a little bit here and there you should be able to incorporate, but trying for an altogether different cuisine might not work for you, might not keep you extremely healthy, Samarthi. Okay, one second. Okay, what is the best natural bath powder for dry skin, especially when you cannot do abhyanga? Dry skin people have to do abhyanga, Rush. Okay, and if you cannot do abhyanga and your skin is rough or dry, you cannot use any powder, because that powder will actually dry your skin even more. And if your skin is dry, you have to do abhyanga, and you just pour hot water on your on your body. You can just use a wet towel to wipe your body. I think that should be enough for you. Okay, and once in a while you can use a bath powder to wash yourself, but abhyanga is extremely important because your skin is dry, your vata is very high. Welcome, Marcia. Eating good diet, not controlling hair fall. Doctor gave biotin supplement that reduce hair fall. How to control without supplement? Okay, Manjula, there are a lot of factors for hair fall, and one major factor for hair fall is that blood supply is not probably reaching the hair roots, or the nutrients are not enough. Okay, are not optimum enough for it to get absorbed by the hair roots. So I would say that, apart from all the supplements and all those things you take, or apply good oil, hair oil, your scalp has to be balanced. For that, you have to do regular exercises. And when you have got hair fall, you should understand that there is something else happening in your body, that your hair is falling. You are by and large not that healthy. So improving your general health is very important. Just consuming biotin or minoxidil or something like that to promote hair growth is not a long-term solution. You try to understand where your health is wrong. Try to incorporate exercises into your life and see that you don't have too much of, if you are all congestion. If you're somebody who is always exposed to air conditioned room, or you always take cold water, you might have a lot of congestion. Blood supply actually, or nutrition fails to reach the hair follicles roots. So you have to do steam inhalation, you have to do nasya, clear the congestion out, and start getting the blood supply reaching there. Apart from that, hair is actually what do you call, a mala, or a byproduct of your bone. So anything that can strengthen your bone will strengthen your hair. Okay, Manjula. Yeah, Cynthia. The best way to take buttermilk, season, time of the day. Yeah, Cynthia, buttermilk is something which you can take at the end of every meal. Okay, suppose you are taking meal food twice daily, you can take at both times at the end of the meal. Normally in India, what we do is we mix it with rice and half. We don't mix too. Curd is not something which is very healthy to be consumed on a regular basis because it's heavy and it's difficult to digest. But the main difference between yogurt and buttermilk is that buttermilk is not cold, but just like you know why? Because fermentation has happened. It's getting fermented, right? So it is hot. So it does not create indigestion because it is ushna and it is light. It is lego. It is easy to digest. So you can consume buttermilk in all seasons, but probably when it becomes extremely cold, you can reduce the quantity, but it is okay to consume in all seasons at the end of the food a little bit. Okay. Uh, Functional bowels, IBS, treatable in the sense, yes, we have come across so many cases where IBS has been taken care of. Okay, treatable is something which Harsha, I understand your anxiety. If you have got IBS, yes, or your somebody close to you have got IBS, I understand your anxiety. But one thing I would say that my 27 years of practice, I have basically not cured any disease. Listen to me, okay? As far as Ayurveda goes, okay, Ayurveda tries to understand your condition and it creates an environment. Like we tell you not to take this food, do this, and give you a few medications where we only create an environment where your body cures yourself. The body heals itself. The medicine or the treatment or the food does not do that. So the Ayurvedic approach, you have to understand that by our approach, the patients actually get cured because their body cured itself. That's the reason we have this thing, apunar bhava. The disease doesn't come back if it has been handled really well. If you suppress it by giving some medicines, when the favorable conditions come, it again comes back. So IBS is something which we can handle. In Ayurveda, we call that grahani roga. It is not easily handleable, but we can. But if you are very ready to follow strict regimen, then we can manage it and handle it. Okay. Yeah, Anusha, in modern day, lifestyle is sedentary. Uh, yes, carbohydrate, increased fat, but I'll tell you what happened, Anusha. This study is happening where people have been telling that you're sedentary, so you have to avoid carbs. Now the latest study is that when people used to be physically active, carbs give you instant energy. So when they're physically active, they needed that energy. Now people are sedentary, so they're asking them to reduce carbs. But do you know which organ actually takes up maximum glucose? It is the brain. When you're sedentary and when you're thinking, when you're sitting in the system and using your brain, we call that in Hindi, we call that bheja fry. When your brain is getting fried, it takes up a lot of glucose. And the moment you get up, you're extremely exhausted and you directly go for something sweet because you want to replenish that glucose loss. Okay. If you are sedentary and you are on a low carbohydrate diet, okay, your brain will not function well. So being sedentary is bad. Okay, the only way you can do it, I don't say you have to cut off, you have to reduce carbohydrates, you have to completely eliminate carbs. It will not work, it will tilt the balance. Don't eat too much of protein. You should go for a balanced meal and you should basically start doing regular exercises to stay healthy. Okay? What is your take? Okay. Anudha, see, if you look at the body, let me put it philosophically or Ayurvedically, I can tell you, the body is called Sharira. All of you know that. And Sharira is a Sanskrit word which has come from the root, and the meaning of that is Shiryate anena iti sharira. That means that which is going towards destruction is body. So, Anirudhan, the difference between yesterday and today for you is that you are one day closer to death. Agree? Your body will definitely go towards destruction. So, the only way we can actually help it is by ahara, vihara, and aushadha. Same treatment applies here, whether you're diseased or whether you want to stay healthy. The same three points: ahara, your food; vihara, your lifestyle; and aushadha, certain kinds of medicines which you have to take or treatments you have to take to stay healthy. So, protein deficiency, you can't say protein deficiency. I don't want to go to that extreme. When you're deficient, that means, you in school you would have studied about kwashiorkor, marasmus, and all those, where people extreme protein deficiency and all those things. See, we sometimes you might be slightly less protein, you might have more protein. All the body knows how to handle this. But when you take a predominantly protein diet, there is always a chance that your food balance is not okay and you will fall sick. And when you take too much of protein, you're focusing too much on your muscle. That is only one among the 7 dhatus, mamsa dhatu. That means you are not nourishing the other dhatus as far as Ayurveda goes. So always have a balanced diet. Is taking a nap. See, Samriddhi, afternoon nap is not contraindicated completely, but there are conditions. Summer, yes. Elderly people, yes. Kids, yes. If you're diseased, yes. Otherwise, no. Okay. So, if you're extremely tired, I would say, life things have all changed. If you're extremely tired, I would say sit in a comfortable reclining chair and close your eyes. In probably 10 minutes, you'll wake up and you'll be fresh. But if you lie down in the afternoon, that is one reason for indigestion. Okay, your kapha goes up. Divasopnam snigdham. In the sense that if you sleep in the afternoon, your body, you've got a chance of putting on weight. You don't see, but if you're somebody who does a lot of physical labor also, okay, you do a lot of walking in the sun, you do a lot of physical activity, you go to the gym for about 1.5 hours every day and work out. If you feel a little bit of energy drop, yes, 10 to 15, 20 minutes is fine. But otherwise, for a normal person, it only adds to indigestion and body weight. Okay, don't make it a habit. What should be the food habit for long hours sitting and see, long hours sitting and working people will definitely be unhealthy. Let us accept it first, Anusha. Okay, now if you look at, as I said, food, yes, you should basically go for completely cut down on the sweets which you eat. Sweetened foods, sweetened with sugar, sweetened with jaggery, or sweetened with honey also. Cut it completely. Okay, don't take anything which takes a longer time to digest, like paneer, cheese, mayonnaise. Okay, something which will take too much of time to digest. Don't overeat. Okay, so the food, it's not, and I don't want to say deep fry, high calorie food. Just cut it down a little bit. That is a food part of it. I again come to vihara. You cannot be sedentary and be healthy. Okay, do some physical activity moderately and then make a change in a lifestyle. Otherwise, you will definitely stay unhealthy. Which food shouldn't be taken daily or regularly but is consumed regularly these days? Most importantly is the most important thing I can tell you is curd or yogurt. According to Ayurveda, it is not something which has to be consumed on a regular basis. Once in a while is fine. Okay. In my opinion, that is one thing which is being consumed by all people on a regular basis. Okay. And other things like, rice. Let me tell you, rice can be taken. But Ayurveda says rice which is 1 year old has to be consumed on a regular basis, not fresh rice. Okay, and even tamarind, tamarind can be consumed not in excess, but that tamarind which has been preserved for a year. So when you preserve tamarind for a year, its sharpness, it goes down. It doesn't become pathya, but it is manageable. Okay, so leave it for a year and have it. Likewise, rice also leave it for a year and half. Okay, apart from that, I would say, you know, yogurt is one thing, and even the government promotes eggs. I don't think consuming eggs on a regular basis, if you are not that physically active, is actually good. We are only looking from the protein side of it, but it is extremely heavy to digest. So, see, defecation is basically, if you look at passing bowels, is the, what do you call, a property of vata, evacuation apana vayu. So that has to be first rectified. Okay, in any place where movement is a problem, it is vata. Okay, pain is a problem, it is vata. Conduction, okay, nerve conduction is vata, because the conduction has to move up and down. Vata is not functioning well. So the treatment for that is basically trying to control vata. Okay, and if you look at the properties of vata, anybody who has got issues of vata will have their system slightly dry. Even in this condition, okay, the gut is extremely dry. So reducing the dryness of the gut is what we do over here. So anything, so vasti. I don't know whether you understand what vasti is. Medicated enema is one thing which is an amazing procedure for all neurological problems. And of late, people have, when we say the gut feeling, what do you mean by the gut feeling? The gut is considered to be the second brain. So the nerves and all the way the nerves have been formed in the brain, the same formation is there in the gut also. Okay, so when we say the gut feeling, it is actually the brain, the second brain, that is working over here. So when we give and when we do vasti, that means medicated, it can be decoction or it can be oil, when we do that enema is not the right word, because we give it from the from the bottom. For you to understand, I'm using it enema. It actually works on the gut, and from there we try to handle all the neurological issues. Yes, we also do Shiro Radhara and Shiro Vasti and all those things also to handle neurological conditions, but by and large, it is a vata condition which has to be treated. Role of Sanskrit shloka stotram in healing in Ayurveda and best stotra shloka for mental stability. We can't have one shloka for mental stability for everybody. Okay, people are made differently. Some people love Vishnu. I would say, if you're looking for mental stability, the best thing for you to do japa is Vishnu Sahasranama. I would say that. Some people would say something else. Some people would Lalita Sahasranama is more of Rajasic, but Vishnu Sahasranama is more of Sattvic, which will actually give you a lot of, it will make you settle, peace of mind. Okay, so when we talk in Sanskrit, when you look at, Kaya Bala Graha Chikitsa is there. Graha Chikitsa is psychological treatment. Okay, so there we say Mani Mangala Homa and all those things have been used. Like you use gems. Okay, you do all the Mangala Karma, like you do Dana. Okay, you go to temples and all those things. Dhyana, Shlok, sound, mantras. All those things are being applied to treat not only mental issues but also physical issues. Because Vishnu Sahasranama is supposed to be Jwara Nashi. When explaining about Jwara fever, the fever is not coming down, people actually do Sahasranama Japa, Vishnu Sahasranama Japa to pacify. So if you are telling which is the best thing for mental stability, I would say, my personal opinion and my personal experience also, Vishnu Sahasranama. Okay. Would using bath powder with milk help for dry skin? I think you are trying to work around it, I think I can call you Rush because I don't see your name. Okay. Anything in the powder form will dry the skin. That is why when there is a kapha problem, we always give churna. Okay, you don't give oily things. Like, you would have noticed when you were in school, I don't know whether you have got that. In India, we see that. In Kerala also, sometimes a child gets indigestion and the child vomits. It might be in class, it might be in the classroom, it might be somewhere outside. Immediately what they do is, before they remove it, they put a little bit of mud on top of it. Mud is what? It is powder. The moment they put mud on top of it, it actually sucks all the watery part from the vomit. It is easy to remove the vomit rather than washing it with water. You can't. You add more water, it becomes extremely messy there. Same thing, irrespective of whether you add powder into milk or powder, at the end of the day will dry up the skin. So that's not an option. Okay. And not having time is not a good option. Can Punarnava herb be eaten for preventing kidney related issues? Punarnava or Boheria diffusa. Okay. Punarnava, the word meaning is Punaha Navaha. That means it's always new. How much ever you try to pluck it and throw it away, it's like a weed. Okay, people say weed. It's not a weed. It's like a weed. How much ever you try to pluck, Varshabhu, it's also another synonym Varshabhu. The moment it starts raining, it comes from nowhere. It's still there. You cannot. It's always new. It comes back always new. So it is a very, very good diuretic thing. We eat the leaves. Okay, we make sabji out of that and eat the leaves. It is a very good diuretic thing. So it is not good for all kidney related issues, but certain kidney related issues, it is good. Okay, it is a very good diuretic, especially when you've got stones. It is amazing. Punarnava. Okay. Ayurveda basically talks about natural cotton clothes. Okay, silk itself is not mentioned too much. Cotton clothes and light cotton clothes, predominantly during cold seasons you have to cover yourself, and during the summers you need not cover yourself. Okay, but when you are walking out in the sun, you have to cover your head, you have to use an umbrella. So a lot of things have been told about clothes. Okay, and in those days you never had things which were stitched. Okay, neither men or women used to wear something which was stitched. Okay, so it used to be always a cloth which they used to wrap them around. Stitching started very late. See, you are asking specifically about certain conditions, diseases. Okay, I just said, even so, if you look at psoriasis, if you look at rheumatoid arthritis, yes, there are so many cases which have completely cured, and there are so many cases which don't get cured. Okay, it is not because the approach is right. It can be a lot of other factors. Okay, so when any autoimmune condition comes, you understand that the reason why that condition comes up is because the immunity has been compromised somewhere. And if you still continue to take immunosuppressants, irrespective of whether it's Ayurvedic immunosuppressant or you take something which is allopathic, it doesn't help you in the long run. Your body has to take over. So as I said, Ayurveda only creates an environment where the body has is being given the opportunity to take over. So but still, I'll tell you, Ayurveda does not claim that it can cure everything. Okay, there are sadhya roga and asadhya roga. Okay, that means which can be cured and which cannot be cured. And in sadhya roga has been divided into sukha sadhya and kritra sadhya. Sukha sadhya means easily curable and curable with difficulty. And asadhya roga means cannot be cured. Has been divided into two, that is yapya and anupakrama. Yapya means, okay, that means it can be managed pathya-bhyasena. That means by following certain regimens, just like if you are extremely diabetic, you have to take that medicine, you have to do all the lifestyle changes so that it is kept under control lifetime. And upakrama means treatment, anupakrama means no treatment. So there are conditions in Ayurveda which cannot. Ayurveda also is I'll cure everything. No, Ayurveda also says very clearly certain things we cannot cure, certain things we can cure, certain things we can cure easily, certain things we cannot cure easily. It will take a lot of time. Certain things, yes, you can manage. Certain things cannot cure. Protein intake for vegetarian food habit. Okay, so probably you are not taking milk and paneer out of choice, in the sense you might be a vegan by choice. Okay, I would say if you have taken that choice, then for your protein intake, you should get all your protein from pulses. Okay, it can be soya or it can be something else from your pulses and all those things. My personal thing is that you don't have to be too worried about being protein deficient if you are not aspiring to probably do a bodybuilding or do extremely strenuous exercises to build your body. Okay, Anusha, normal food. Okay, you are not taking milk also. So normal food and have a little bit of dal or all those things on a regular basis, you will get the required protein, and the body knows what it wants and body will take it from the food which you consume. Okay, don't be over obsessed about the proteins. Okay, you don't have to consume meat, you don't have to take milk. Again, I would say milk is actually a good source of protein. Since you said that you're not consuming milk, I'm telling you will get it from the pulses. Okay, if there's a choice between you consuming milk or you consuming whey protein powder and all those things, my personal opinion, I would say better take milk from a good source where the animal is not being touched. Get milk from a good source rather than consuming that processed whey protein. Okay, my personal opinion. Bhanu Pratap, how to increase? See, I eat very much, but you are very thin. You might be thin because of a prakriti. You might be predominantly vata prakriti, and I don't want you to do too many things for you to put on weight. Let me put this very clearly. Okay, if you are somebody who was always slightly on the plumper side, okay, that's your nature. Kapha prakriti we call that. You are slightly on the plumper side, and a vata prakriti person slightly on the leaner side. Pitta prakriti is somewhere in between. So what happens, the Vata Prakriti person wants to become like a Pitta Prakriti, the Kapha person also wants to become like a Pitta Prakriti person. And this person does a lot of exercise, starving, fasting and all this to become like this. This person eats, pumps a lot of iron to become this. This person by becoming this will become unhealthy. This person by becoming this will also become unhealthy. Point, Bhanu Pratap. You are lean and your health stays when you are lean. It's always good for you to live through life becoming lean. Don't become thin. You will always become lean. And probably as you reach 30, 35, you'll slowly put on a little bit of weight. But that is the place where your health is. And if you eat little bit food, digesting the food is important. And for you to put on weight, if you start eating a lot of food, you said you eat a lot of food, that is not good. eat only half your stomach. That is necessary. That is enough for you to stay healthy. Okay, and see, it's always good to do abhyanga before you do exercise. Okay, if you're only applying oil on your hair, no, see, either way around. When you say if exercise, after exercise, ashtanga is after exercise, you have to do mardana of the body. Okay, that is, you have got the sweat there, and you are actually, it is basically cooling the body down by doing mardana on the body. So if you are doing full body abhyanga and head bath and all those things, you are somebody who goes to gym or do regular exercises, do that exercises, come back, wait for your sweat to completely dry, and then you do abhyanga. I don't think you'll have so much of time. If you have time, that is the best thing. Okay, or else, if you do abhyanga and do a little bit of light exercises here and there, that is okay. But if you're doing something very strenuous, okay, then you might find it very difficult by applying that much of oil and doing it. But it is not contraindicated. Okay, in those days when people used to do gusti, wrestling, they used to apply oil, they used to do all the exercise and then go for wrestling. Either way, it is fine. Okay, but it again depends upon the amount, the kind of food you eat. You cannot do abhyanga immediately after you eat. Okay, but the moment you're eating food, digestion is happening, you can't do abhyanga. You can't do exercise also immediately after eating that kind of food. So food is more important here. Abhyanga and exercise, I would say, or your question is exercise, right? Don't immediately do exercise after food. Okay, but after abhyanga, you can do exercise, or the other way around. But if you are doing abhyanga after exercise, wait for your sweat to completely dry off. Sorry, I also lost track. Where are we right now? Where did I miss? Did I miss some question somewhere? Liver is a vital organ, more active after or during digestion. So how to keep liver healthy? What diet or habits? Okay, it's a good question. Okay, drinking, I think you would have seen this. Drinking 4 cups of black coffee is good for the liver. You would have seen that. So if that is the answer you want from me, I can say drink 4 cups of coffee. It's good for drink 4 coffee cups. It's good for the liver. But there are a lot of studies which say that drinking too much of coffee is bad for the stomach and not so good for the heart, because it increases the palpitations. So if you want me to talk only about the liver is a vital organ, yes. Okay. So if you are only focused on keeping a liver healthy, you will not be healthy. I would say if you think about this whole body as one unit, okay, like you have got an office. If you've got 10 employees, the CEO is not the CEO or the CFO or the MD or the chairman is not the most important or not the vital person. Okay, they are important. Even the small clerk who sits and does his work is also extremely important. So everything, every organ is important in the body. Okay, just because we don't understand why an appendix is there, they say you can remove the appendix, you can remove the gallbladder. Since we have not found out what it actually really contributes to, I don't think you should remove any of those organs. So liver is a vital organ, yes. Okay, it is important in the process of digestion, agreed. Okay, to keep the Agni up, you need the we call that Yakrit. Okay, that is the major sthana for Pitta and Rakta. Okay, that is why Yakrit is very important. And Ayurveda does not say that the sthana or the place of blood is heart. It says it is the liver and the spleen. Okay, modern science says that every cell destruction of the blood happens in the spleen, and the spleen is not working well, the liver takes over. Okay, so liver is a very important organ. So how the way you eat food and the way you lead your lifestyle is more important, Shashikar, rather than only focusing on the kind of food you eat. Okay, you eat a balanced food, your liver, your kidney, your heart, your spleen, your intestine, your nails, your hair, everything will stay healthy. You have a serious. I thought that since you said you are extremely thin, you are not putting on weight. I understood that you are a Vata Prakriti person. As a reason why you are forgetting things, you have to work around it, Bhanu Pratap. Okay, trying to remember things. Your Vata is extremely high. You have to do that Abhyanga every day. I think you have to do that Abhyanga. You have to consume foods which will actually keep your Vata down. You cannot afford to do too much of exercise where your Vata will even go higher and you will end up in problem. Okay, your exercise should always be mild. Your exercise should be mild. A Pitta Prakriti should be doing mild to moderate. A Kapha person can do moderate to heavy. Okay, Manupada, I think we are going through a consultation right now. I think you should consult me personally. Okay, I don't know how your Kundalini says that you are of a Kapha Prakriti. Then probably you there might be some other issue which you are going through. I think wherever you are, probably you go and consult an Ayurvedic doctor. You say that you are thin like a stick. Okay, and you are not getting hungry easily. You are not in the right healthy state. Go and consult an Ayurvedic doctor close to your place, and I think you have to take proper treatment for this. Seriously. Okay. Heavy fruit like paneer and meat, if you take it moderately, your body will be able to digest it. Don't eat too much. If you eat too much, these are actually guru ahara, it is heavy food. And if you eat too much, anyway, you'll find it difficult to digest. So then what you say, okay, let me consume some alcohol on top of it. People who drink alcohol can actually digest paneer and meat faster. That doesn't mean that you should be drinking alcohol, right? Or you take this and then you take something to digest it. That is not the way the body works. Don't overload the body. You have paneer, but don't overeat it. You have eggs, don't overeat it. Meat also same thing, have little bit, body will actually digest it. Don't worry at all. Okay, and if you are not able to digest it, then we have to think about it whether you should be consuming paneer or and meat or not. Okay, you have to get it set first. Rasapradhanam aharam. Wow, Gayatri, that's actually nice. Rasapradhanam aharam. Aushadam tu virya pradhanam. Okay, that means food is basically predominantly taste oriented. That's what Gayatri says, and that's the reference from Charaka. Okay, so yes, but when you start capsuling food, you will not feel the taste. So that's the first thing. Okay, the way the body reacts. Why, if you look at the medicine which reduces fever, it can be modern medicine also. Why paracetamol? You can quote it, right? Why is paracetamol still bitter? And Ashtanga says Kashaya Rasa is the best for Jwara. Okay, bitter taste is good for astringent taste. Bitter taste, extreme bitter taste is good for fever. You don't have to get the right kind of, even if the bitter taste goes inside. When some taste comes in contact with your tongue, there is a way in which the body reacts. Okay, that is very important. So if you try to mask that, Ayurveda treatment becomes handicapped. Okay, you start capsuling something, food, medicines, everything you start capsuling and start making more and more convenient. I would say you are actually deviating from the principles of Ayurveda and the way it works. If a non-vegetarian converts to vegetarian, does it cause health issues? Manjula, frankly speaking, yes. Same thing happens for a veg person if he turns non-veg also. Okay, I'll tell you. I just said, something which you are used to. There are people who suddenly become vegetarians or vegans or whatever it is. What happens is, as I said, traditionally, great great grandfather, all of them used to eat meat, and so your DNA or your genetically, you are actually, your body has got an affinity towards getting nutrition from meat and staying healthy. The moment you drop that and go to something else, okay, there are a lot of people who say there might not be any difference, but Ayurvedically speaking, that guna you will not be able to get from something else. Definitely, it can cause health issues. Okay, what I'm telling might become controversial, but that is the way we look at it. Okay, genetically speaking, same thing happens with people who generations to generations have been vegetarians, and so your body, and see, it is not that a vegetarian person is unhealthier than or healthier than a non-veg eating person. No, that's what they're used to, and that's how the body is. And suddenly I start taking non-veg food, I don't think I'll get the desired results from that. Uh, what I'm not basically able to understand gutters health. Well, if you can explain that. Suddenly, I'm not able to place that. You mean gut health? Oh, okay. Gut health and yes. Gut health and mental health is directly involved. And if you see, you are what you eat. Basically, not only physically, also mentally. And see, food. If let me give you a very simple example with milk. Okay, cow's milk is something people have been advised to take cow's milk at bedtime to get good sleep. And cow's milk actually does not promote sleep. Let me tell you that. Okay, it's not advised. Cow's milk is not advised in sleeplessness. Let me put it that way. If you are somebody who is sleeping decently well, if you take a glass of cow's milk at night and sleep, okay, the decently sleeping person will actually sleep really well. He will stay sleeping throughout the night, okay, with cow's milk. But if a person is not sleeping, he's got anidra, sleeplessness, then it is cow's milk is not the one that has to be given. What has to be given is buffalo's milk. Okay. Chemically, you might say both are protein, both are this, both are calcium, all those things are different. But the property of buffalo's milk is different from the properties of cow's milk. Buffalo's milk is tamasic, while cow's milk is sattvic. So gut health. So what happens with this is it actually works on your gut, right? So anything you eat would actually have an impact on your mind also. Okay, if you're somebody who is consuming a lot of alcohol or eats too much of spicy food, you can irritate that person faster than somebody who is always having sattvic food. Okay, it is directly related to the mental health. I think Manjula, I've answered that question. Kaushik, Triphala is not okay for to be consumed on a regular basis for gut health. If you see, Triphala is a medicine. When you've got an issue, take that medicine. When you're getting okay, when you get okay, stop it. Okay, don't think that it is something which I can take lifetime. Point. Okay, amla fruit as a fruit, yes, amla is something which you can take on a daily basis. It is considered to be food when you take that fruit as such. Okay, but here Triphala churna, even though it contains amla, but amla churna, if you take every day, it is not as good as taking an amla fruit. Okay, so if a person has got too much of what I call not passing, he's passing motion, but he's not satisfied. He's got indigestion, heaviness. Triphala will actually really work for most kinds of constipations. But If your gut is extremely dry, that is where castor oil is indicated. Okay, you're passing motions, you're passing with a lot of difficulty, and your stools are hard. That is where castor oil is indicated. But otherwise, you get a small indigestion and you've got gas and you're not passing motion for a few days. If you take triphala, yes, that you are relieved. Then I don't think you have to continue taking triphala after that. But it is a medicine, okay, not for daily consumption. For a Pitta Prakriti person having acidity, is it okay to do ginger tea in the morning? No. Okay, for anybody, in my opinion, for anybody, if you that that lime honey in hot water, if you take it continuously for a longer period of time, I don't think it is extremely healthy, because lime, it is ushna, and honey is also ushna. Honey also scrapes. Lime also is ushna. It is citric acid. It is acidic. I don't want you to put acidic in the morning. Okay. For a Pitta Prakriti person having acidity, nobody should have acidity for that matter. Okay. And a Pitta Prakriti person has got a tendency to have more, because he is basically more of Pitta. So if he is somebody who consumes a lot of spices, salty, sour food, alcohol, meat, and who's somebody who doesn't sleep early at night, will always have is easily prone to acidity. Okay, so I would say for a Pitta person who's having acidity, good thing is to have diluted milk in the morning, not even tea. Diluted milk in the morning, with a spoon of ghee in it. Best thing. Okay, sleep early, moderate your exercises, physical activity, see what you're eating. I feel cold. I do hair bath separately in afternoon. Is that fine to do? Yeah, I think that is okay. But it does. If you're living in an extremely cold place, I would say use tepid water to pour on your head. Don't use hot water. Okay. If this suits you better, yes, I would say then you need not take a bath in the morning itself. You can take both in the afternoon, right? Why do you want to do it double? How should we look at LDL cholesterol? Should that be controlled? How can you use ahara to control? See, HDL, LDL, latest studies have told that cholesterol is actually good. Okay, so it is extremely confusing. So I would say anything which is off limit, which is extremely high, is not good. Okay, the only way you can probably get, see, if you look at HDL cholesterol or something, it's a slimy. It is being released as per the brain's instructions, and cholesterol is very important for normal brain function. So we can't say cholesterol is bad, but anything which is extremely low or extremely high is always a problem. So it is basically kapha. So any activity or food which can reduce kapha will actually be good to keep your cholesterol under control. Okay, so spicy food, bitter food, and a little bit of exercise, food, not overeating, absolutely avoiding sweets and deep fry oily food, normal things which you can do, and then stress is something which is a major reason why your cholesterol can go all over the place. So take care of that also. I don't understand your question. Lip pigmentation solution. That means you mean to say that you have got pigmentation on the lip? Then it is something which you have to consult a doctor and see what actually the problem is, whether what color it is, whether a lot of issues in that, lot of things which you have to look into. Okay, and yes, I suppose we can actually handle it. Why don't you consult an Ayurveda doctor close to your place? I think we are going over time. Wow. Is it good to drink non-boiled water in copper vessel? It is okay to drink non-boiled water if you know the source. I can give myself as an example. See, I am in this town in Tripunithura where we have got a well. Okay. Uh, but this is a semi-urban place, so I don't drink the water which is without boiling the water. But when I go to my native, it's about 60, 70 kilometers from here. I know for sure that 10-kilometer vicinity there are no industries. Nothing is there. When I go there, I draw water from the well directly and drink it. Okay, so if you know the source of the water and you know it is safe to drink, it is good. Is it safe to consume herbs even raw in small quantities daily? Kadaladi, how to make the best? Uh, it's not about safe or unsafe, it is about why do you have to do that, whether it is necessary or not. That's the reason why we believe that supplementing itself is not a good idea. But if your, say for example, if your vitamin D or your iron and all those things are extremely low, that you are in a sick condition, yes, you can take something to bring it back. But by and large, it is the body's duty to take it from the food, what we eat. So try to eat healthy and see that you actually, eat the right kind of food and get from your food, rather than supplementing and taking some medicine. Like some people take shilajit on a daily basis, some people take ashwagandha on a daily basis. I don't know why you should be doing that. It's something which your body should be doing it. Let your body do it. Okay. Kadaladi. I'm not very sure about that. I don't want to comment on that without knowing much about it. Dental health, not sure. Okay, Harian, I'm sorry about it. I can probably refer and let you know. Lip pigmentation, it's the same question coming back. Okay. I think it's better you consult a doctor close to you, Preeti. Samriddhi, I would say it's a choice. It's not about good, bad, and I am a vegetarian. I consume milk and milk products. Apart from that, nothing else from plant source. No, sorry, animal source. No meat, no fish, no eggs. So all those things, So it is my choice, and moreover, my parents were like that. My grandparents were like that. All of us were like that. So, and I personally feel that my health is good when I am actually drinking milk and having, ghee, butter, and all those things, buttermilk, and all those things. So it's a choice, Non-veg, it's fine. I don't consume non-veg. That doesn't mean that eating non-veg is bad. It is, for generations together, people have been eating. It is also it's also food. So it is again their choice. Okay. See, animals being tortured and all those things, altogether different topic. I don't want to go there. Likewise, being vegan is also a choice. You have decided not to take anything from animal source, So it is again a choice. So I say it's good. If you feel good about it, carry on. That's it. Ayurveda doesn't say anything directly that you get vitamin D. Hariharan, Ayurveda does not talk about vitamin D. Let me put it very clearly, okay? And it does not say about sitting directly under the sun. Ayurveda tells us not to sit under the hot sun, not to travel under the hot sun. It only tells about morning and evening sun, okay, which is good. Apart, it does not say that you can sit under the sun and get vitamin D. If a vitamin D for some reason has actually dropped drastically, go for vitamin D supplements, Hariharan. Okay, I'm not an extremely Ayurvedic fanatic, and I say no. Let me see if after that let us see what best can be done. So if it is extremely low, take a supplement, then bring it back. Then we can see what kind of food you're eating, and then we'll do it. But don't do things which even though they say the summer, the midday sun's rays has got the maximum effect of getting vitamin D. I would say don't get exposed too much to the midday sun directly. Okay, it is not good for health. Just because it gives you too much of vitamin D, I would say take it slow, get exposed to the morning and evening sunlight. So probably what you can, and that's not bad for the skin. So what you get in probably in a month, it may take 2 to 3 months. No hurry, right? So I would say do things moderately always. Anusha, consult a good Ayurvedic doctor. They'll easily get your original Pragati, provided you are truthful when you answer. You are not confused. Because that's the way when I ask, I say, okay, how was it before? How was it before? How was it before? Because what you present right now is always your Vikriti. So if I have to get your Prakriti, I have to always get into how was it before? How was it before? So I would say, if you can actually consult a good Ayurvedic doctor, they'll be able to get your Prakriti. Preeti, milk is heavy to digest, but why is it suggested to drink at night to get good sleep? You know why we get sleep? Because Ayurvedically, not sleeping increases Vata and Pitta, and Kapha is the person that actually puts you to sleep. Sleep is something which is heavy. For kind information, your body also becomes heavier when you're sleeping, right? So heavy things actually induce sleep. You have heavy food, you feel drowsy. So milk is, so let me come to this. So milk is slightly on the heavier side, okay, and the according to Ayurveda, you don't have your food to be completely digested before you go to bed. Okay, Ayurveda does not believe in that. That you have your dinner early at 6:30 and then go to bed at 11. It's completely digested. That's not the way Ayurveda looks at it. Okay, you have your food in about an hour and a half. You'll feel, when that feeling comes, that means you are slowly shutting down. Go to bed. Okay, so during the process, your metabolism slows down, and when you drink that little bit of milk, it's very slow metabolism and takes a long time. That milk, when it is there in your system, it is heavy. That will actually keep you sleeping, and that milk, it will take extra 4 to 5 hours for it to digest because your metabolism is so slow. I hope you understood that, Preeti. Okay, it is the heaviness. It is the guru quality that makes you sleep well. Gita Rao, it is a structural issue that your foot is flat. Probably you would have put on weight of late. Okay, that it is extremely painful. You have, in my opinion, if it is really bad, you have to get it surgically rectified. Okay. Anything which has got the effect of moon. Okay, night is basically translated as tamas. So anything which goes through darkness is tamas. That's why the previous day cooked food, when it goes through the night, okay, is considered to be tamas. Okay, food loses its freshness. You can say I've preserved it in my refrigerator. Yes, all those things I do agree. I don't want to get into an argument that food is well preserved when it is kept in the fridge. Yes, but the tamas which I am talking is, the effect it can have on the mind. Okay, that is one. So if you look at, okay, solar eclipse, if you look at eclipses, there are a lot of people who say no, that when the food goes through solar eclipse, there are a lot of microorganisms which can actually that is not the reason. My grandfather has taught me is, when you have got some food cooked before the eclipse, and when the nature is going through eclipse, that means the sun is being covered by the moon. Okay, and then for a temporary, it might be a minute or whatever it is, there is darkness, and that darkness is considered to be tamas. Okay, so that means one night has gone through in a minute's time or a 2 minutes time. So the food has been exposed to that tamas. So don't consume food which has been cooked before an eclipse. Cook afresh and have. Okay. Hope that answers you, Divya. Divya, yes, I understand where you're coming from. That's the reason why I said, we are talking two different things. Okay. It is very subtle. You say that the food does not get spoiled. Okay. I agree to that to a certain extent. In the sense, Divya, if you are 20 years today, you become 20 years one day tomorrow. Has your body not deteriorated? You might not die. I don't say you are dead, you are useless. But has your body not, with time, even after you cook, the moment you cook and put it out of the pan, it is basically going towards getting spoiled. Yes or no? Right? So the temperature, yes, you can say when you freeze food, chemically, that's why I said, I don't want to go there at all. I'm just telling the effect of what tamas is all about. You keep it overnight. Yes, and India also, there are a lot of places where you can actually preserve it. People keep it in water. It doesn't get spoiled when you keep it overnight. But that food is actually tamasic. Same thing happens, when people say that you can, the previously cooked rice preserved in water, you can have it in the morning. It is very nutritious. Yes, I don't say it's not nutritious. It is nutritious, but it is not meant for everybody. Okay, because it is heavy, it is tamas, it's extremely nourishing. It actually puts your mind also. It makes your mind or your brain work slower. So it is good for people who do a lot of physical labor and work in the field, not for people who don't do that kind of physical labor and who are supervising the work. For them, it is not good. It is good, but not for all. I think Divya have already explained that it does affect our health and well-being. Okay, but day times have changed. We don't cook food. Get up in the morning, go for work. People don't find time to cook. And so what they do is they cook and they put it inside the fridge. I know, I've traveled in the US. What they do is they take a little bit, heat it, and they finish that cooked food only within a week. Okay, and they say it does not create any bad health at all. Fine, but I would say cooking fresh then and there and eating is actually a healthier option. Okay. Applying oil on the head is one thing. Regularly oil on the head is hariharan is one good thing to basically keep the heat of the body down. Applying on the head, ears and feet. Okay. And if something consistently gives you a swelling on your eyes and you feel that heat is going up, I would say it is better take it low and don't eat it too much. Okay. Your body might not be able to take it. And to bring the temperatures down, coconut water is the best thing. Okay. Rather than what you call milk, coconut water is the best thing to bring the temperature down. Dhania boiled water is also good to bring the heat down. Vata dosha basically causes more of constipation. Vegetarian sattvic food when kept overnight becomes tamasic. That's what Divya I'm trying to tell you, Divya. Okay, any food when you leave it overnight becomes tamasic. That's all. Okay, so that's the same thing. I see when what exactly what you I now I don't know what you mean by sattvic. Okay, uh, tamas is basically darkness. Okay, if food, it's only cooked food. Okay, if cooked food has gone through that, even if it is the most sattvic food, it can become tamasic. Anything that can actually get darkness into your what do you call head, like something which is extremely difficult to digest. Anything that is difficult to digest is tamasic. Anything which digests faster need not be sattvic, because alcohol digests faster. Alcohol is more of rajasic. But if you keep on using alcohol for a longer period of time, your mind starts becoming tamasic after a point of time. Okay, so sattvic food is something which does not disturb your mind. Okay, and these are all states of the mind. Being sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic are all states of mind. And it's not that you can be 100% always in sattvic state, then you are an extremely enlightened soul. But try to be in the sattvic state as much as possible. Sometimes you will get angry, you will be in, but realizing that you are getting rajasic is very important, and coming back again, trying to get back into the sattvic state is more important. You can sometimes you'll feel sometimes very lethargic. You know that you are getting into the tamasic stage. Try to get back into the sattvic state. So these foods are things which actually add to your mental state of sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Okay, just because a food is see, cow's milk is sattvic, but if you have that sattvic food, you leave it for some time, it doesn't become it's not sattvic anymore. It becomes tamasic. So sattvic food can become tamasic when left overnight. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Black raisins at night time might be too cooling. Mostly what do you call raisins actually cool. You can in an emergency, yes. Otherwise, it's always good to have raisins in the morning, Harihar. Okay. Yes, tamas food increases kapha, and kapha is the one which actually blocks everything. Yes, Hariharan, we are uh, overthinking about, getting the nutrients. Are we getting all the nutrients from the food which we get in the market right now? In my opinion, we are decently doing well. Okay, things changing, styles have changed. If you look at Ayurveda says about cooking. Even before cooking started in Ayurveda, just imagine, there were people even before the fire was actually discovered. Okay, how to light a fire. People used to live healthy. Just because fire got discovered, you cannot say that you have to always eat raw. Okay, as times change, yes, you have got pressure cooking now, you have got microwave cooking now. See, studies have to happen as to what the effects of these things are. You can't still cook in an earthen vessel with firewood. Harin, hope you're able to understand that. Okay, so things have changed, a lifestyle, but by and large, what I'm telling you is try to try to eat seasonal food, what genetically suits you, and then try to cook in the way you want. But I would say one thing I would say is don't cook in high temperatures. That's one thing which acharyas have always told, that don't. That's the reason why they used to use firewood, because in firewood you can control it. Now in gas also you can control it. So actually go for low flame cooking. I think most of the nutritions are intact. When you go for high temperature, high pressure cooking, there is always a chance. Otherwise, low flame cooking, you can do it. That's not a problem. Yes, ghee is generally stored for months. Ghee is one thing. Cow's ghee is sattvic and it can be stored for months together. Absolutely no problem. And the older the ghee is, the better it is. Ghee as food can be, normally we say, can be used for a year, even beyond a year, but slowly it starts smelling. Till a year you can use it. Once it becomes 1 year, we call it Purana Ghrita. You can use it. 10-year is Prapurana. You have got even Kumbha Sarpi, 100-year-old ghee also. It is actually very good for mental issues. So ghee as medicine also can, the older it gets, it is actually used very well for medicine. I think I answered that, Shashikar. Rajini Vaidya, okay. Yes, I am aware of what the whole world is speaking, but I don't agree to that. Is my thing. It all depends upon what you want to do. If you are something who's an athlete who wants to run around and do a lot of activities, or you want to do bodybuilding, then probably you might need that kind of protein. But I personally feel that uh, I see all elders over here. My father or my grandfather, all of them never consumed so much of protein, and all of them are very healthy. So what should I basically trust? Now they say you have to have a lot of proteins. Rajini, it is just for argument's sake. After 5 years, if they say people who have consumed, for 70 kilograms, if they have consumed 70 grams, then they have got a chance of getting kidney issues. What would happen? It's studies are happening in such a way that they say scientific studies have proven. It same thing happened with metformin also. Scientific studies have proved that metformin is best for diabetes. Now, what scientific studies have proved that is something just like scientific studies. So which scientific study should I trust? The one which was done before, or the one which is being happening today? I would say, I just look around. What my common sense says is more important here. Okay, Rajini, I'm not against any studies happening. Studies have to happen, but probably there is always a commercial aspect also to it. Okay, if you are an Indian person, Indian vegetarian, you eat a normal, traditional, balanced food, you will get what you want. No, I don't say, see, Hariharan, I don't want to go to any extreme here. I say that you have to be aware as to how you have to cook. Okay, because there are a lot of studies which say that pressure cooker doesn't change anything. Okay, but I would say, see, you have got the best option and the worst option. I would say the best option might be cooking in using a firewood in a earthen pot. Best. If you don't have the best option, let us go at least for a good option. I think you have to understand where to go. I can't tell you each and everything. Okay. No, Hariharan. Does oil only reduce vata in pulse? I don't understand that. I didn't understand that question. Yes, Rajini, you have hit the bullseye. It is very important. It's not about eating too much. As I said before, Ayurveda does not believe about that you are what you eat. You are what you digest and absorb. Okay, so you don't have to think too much. Eat traditionally, eat normal food, and you will by and large be healthy. Okay, I think we have gone about 1.5 hours today. Okay, I'll come up next time. I'll come up with a shloka which Ashtanga Hridaya says. It's a beautiful shloka. How to eat. It might not be apt, 100% apt in these days, but the thought process which they had is amazing. Okay, how you have to be mentally be when you're eating. It's a nice thing to go through. Ashtanga Hridaya, you can go through that. Okay, so let us end today. Okay, good night.